Earthlings! Who can save you now?
All right, so Reset Era back up to their old tricks again, trying to decide what's best for you, the gamer, because believe it or not, and I like pointing this out, they have immense power over the gaming industry, and I'm going to show you an example of that on this poll where they're trying to decide the future of Mario. Even though it won't work, it's always fun to show the Japanese developers because they have no power over them. They only have power over the West. And I'm going to show you a reason for that because a game developer actually shows up on the thread. He works at Star Wars over at EA, or works on Star Wars over at EA. Pops up right in there, verified member. These are the people that infect that website. It's full of game devs. It's full of people that work in the gaming industry, game journalists. They all collaborate there. And I'm going to show you some more examples of stuff going on over at Reset Era and why it's such a cesspool and why you should be concerned about it because they have a lot of power in the gaming industry and they can literally make any developer come to their knees. They've done it many times. A lot of us covered the Iron Fury game. That was a great example of them shaping the game industry. Now, the developers of Iron Fury did kind of back down. They still had to go to all those sensitivity training classes, but people decided to gloss over that. They still got change made at the developer, regardless of what happened. So let's look at what's going over there, what kind of idiocracy they're doing right now. Also, take a moment, make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that, and subscribe if you're new. Okay, so we go over to the cesspool itself, and the pompous elitist on his high horse member asks, should the next original human character in the Mario series be a POC? So we go over there, and this is what he asks. So here's where we're at. Nearing the better part of 50 years or so, we've yet to see a key main playable character of color in the franchise, in a franchise as big as Mario. Nintendo as a whole could use better representation, like newer franchises, like ARMS and Splatoon. They've made efforts to feature more diverse rosters at least. But where does that leave the established Mario cast? Would such a move feel like they're forcing it or catering it? Personally, I think such a far-reaching franchise that looks to appeal to people of all walks of life, color, and age has a responsibility to broaden the kind of human characters they feature outside of what they've had for almost half a century. I think the next time they choose to add a new human, they should see it as an opportunity to finally diversify a cast that has very sorely needed it. Where do you guys land? Of course, they forget about Daisy, who I believe is Egyptian, but that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. We're just going to go ahead and ignore that. We need more. Even though we got Bowser, Yoshi, Toad, Boo, you need to see yourself in everything. You need to be able to reflect with that character. Even though, here's the thing, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to like that character. How many people of color go and pick up a Marvel comic? Hell yeah, I'm only reading Black Panther because I see myself in him. I'm pretty sure they like other characters. There's probably people that like Wolverine more. There's probably people that are POC that actually identify with Spider-Man. He runs around in a full bodysuit. Anybody can see themselves as Spider-Man. It was the point of the character. But of course, no. The real point here is that we want to take you to your knees and make you do what we want. I just find it funny how they've been stepping up lately, the push on Japanese people. I've been seeing a lot more, especially over here on this website. And it's been kind of funny to see. I think maybe they're desperate to get a win over there, and it's just not happening. It's not happening. But I always like to point out to you guys that the game industry make up this website. You've got one right here. Artist at EA Star Wars verified. More like the next 20. The next 20 characters in the game franchise need to be a POC. These are the people that make up this website. Okay, you got people in the game industry itself, you've got the game journalists, and you've got the SJW, NPC, Puritans. They make up the rest. That's the people on this website. So when I tell you this website has a lot of power, I'm not kidding. Okay, this is just one person, but they're all on there. I wonder if it's almost a requirement for you to be on there, or they'll go after you. It's really funny. So let's take a look at some comments that retakes, otherwise known as Reset Era takes, over on Twitter. You got to check them out. They pulled some really good comments from that thread that I like to go over. Such as this one: if you disagree with me, you are, of course, an istophobe. I mean, no one's surprised by that one. And then you've got here, this is a reply to this one. Choices are poorly designed. Nintendo should do what they want. If they want to include characters from all ethnicities, why not? And if not, it's fine as well. It's their IP, after all. Although I prefer them to create new characters from scratch rather than updating old ones. And that's what a lot of people say. A lot of people say, instead of changing the old characters, why don't you just make new ones? No one's got a problem with that, actually. I don't have a problem with that. I don't think any reasonable person has a problem with that. But it doesn't matter. Old ones got to go. It's kind of like it's a way to flex muscle, show your power, put you in your place. Your comment just reeks of white privilege, ignorance, and racism. You're basically saying, screw people of color. Let Nintendo do their own thing. The entirety of the human characters are white. The toads are also white. They're also creative at coming up with characters and yet struggle with creating a brand new human character who is a person of color. That's a problem that they need to fix. So, of course, if you don't agree with my opinion, you're an istophobe. And these are the people that make up the game industry. I just showed you one who popped up on the thread and said, yeah, make the next 20 POC. Works at Star Wars over at EA. What a coincidence. Okay, so here's a really good example also of NPCs eating their own. You've heard this term before. So they post a poll. 98% of Latinos do not identify with Latinx. I'm glad to see that. I can't stand that word. I don't get the point of it. So basically 2%, which is, of course, you know, the crazy ones, the NPCs, the ones that want to change you. You need to change to make them feel better. They're the ones that like that Latinx one. That's why they're 2%. So this person, who's actually Latino, comes in there and gives this. Stop giving coverage to this stupid, useless word and let it die. My entire family is Latinos from all over the world, and we've never once used Latinx. Latino is already a gender neutral word, and some people just say Latin too. F the colonizers who came up with Latinx. Honestly, if I ever meet anyone saying Latinx, I'm going to laugh in their face and never waste my time with that person again. And then he gets banned. Inflammatory and hostile commentary. Okay, so an actual Latin person comes in and says, I don't like this. Doesn't matter. You gotta go. Wrong thinker. It's so easy to get banned over there. So easy. So you can't go over there and disagree with anything they say or you get banned. Check this one out. If you attempt to reach out to moderation about a legitimate concern and are ignored, do you all know what to do next? Banned. Try to get a hold of the moderators for a question. Starts a thread. They ban him. Mod whining and harassing staff over multiple private messages. So, yeah. Mario needs to change. According to a developer on the Star Wars games over EA, the next 20 Mario characters need to be POC. I really liked that guy came in there because he was a perfect example of everything that I've said. That place has tons of game developers, game journalists, and then the crazies all hanging out on there at once. They're all kind of scheming and figuring out what's their next move, what's the next game to be destroyed. So I thought that was a really good example, and I'm glad that guy popped in there. Thank you for coming in there, Mr. Star Wars artist, and showing people exactly what I've been saying for the longest time. Because if you go over there, and you can go over there, just go to the trending pages. That's all you need to do. You don't need to make an account. Just go to Reset Era, go to trending threads, and look around for yourself. You'll see everything that I've been talking about. You'll see game journalists, game devs. It's all the verified people. Go over there, take a look for yourself, and see what I'm saying. So anyway, that is pretty much it. Probably going to do another video later. Saw some stuff with Robert Downey Jr. People are actually getting mad about Tropic Thunder now. Like, what? Why is this a problem now? Apparently it is. I saw a lot of people complaining about that. So I guess it's time to cancel Robert Downey Jr. for a movie nobody had a problem with until everyone went nuts. Anyway, like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Leave a comment. Make sure you're still subscribed. Share the video. All of that fun, good stuff. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.